The world grand scale no purchase. Here's a small thing, an afterthought in his own Australopithecus clan. A shadow that flits at the edge of the firelight. His arms are thin, his legs not yet strong enough for the long hunts, his voice too quiet to add to the guttural planning of the elders. He exists in the space between glances, fed last, noticed least. The others are a tightly woven basket of muscle, bone, and shared instinct, a singular entity focused on the brutal arithmetic of survival in this prehistoric world. Kale is a loose thread, easily frayed, easily lost. This loneliness pushes him out, away from the relative safety of the rock overhang their clan calls home, into the steaming green chaos where the real gods live. The airs are thick, wet blanket tasting of rotten pollen, a symphony of unseen things buzzing, chirping, and slithering. Every snap twig is a question, every rustle in the giant ferns, an answer he does not want to hear. He follows a game trail not out of skill, but out of a deeper need to be where others are not. The path ends abruptly in a clearing of churned mud and splintered cycads. The scent of blood, sharpened coppery, hangs in the earth. This is a place of recent violence, a stage where one of the world's countless daily tragedies has played out. A larger predator, perhaps an Allosaurus, has made its kill and moved on. But something remains, a sound, low and rasping, like stone grinding on stone. Kale freezes, his small frame disappearing behind a curtain of moss. His heart hammers a frantic rhythm against his ribs, a drumbeat of pure, ancestral terror. The lessons of his clan are simple. Unexpected sounds mean death. He should retreat, melt back into the jungle and forget what he saw, what he heard. But the sound is not one of aggression. It is the sound of ragged, painful breath, curiosity, a dangerous and often fatal luxury. Overrides his fear, he creeps forward, his bare feet silent on the damp earth. There, tangled in the roots of an ancient ginkgo, lies a god fallen from the sky, a Pteranodon. It is immense, its wingspan easily 3 times his height, a creature of leather and hollow bone designed to earn the wind. But the wind has betrayed it. One of its wings is bent at an unnatural angle, and a long, vicious tear mars the delicate flight membrane. The leathery pot egg IUM, rendering it useless. Its great head, crowned with an elegant crest, rests on the ground, and a single, golden eye, larger than Kale's fist, tracks his cautious approach. It is an eye that holds no malice, only a deep, weary pain and a simmering spark of ancient intelligence. The creature is grounded, helpless, a feast for the first scavenger to find it. The clan would see it as meat. A gift. Kale sees only its magnificent ruin, its shared sentence of isolation. He sees himself. The secret takes root in the stolen moments between dusk and dawn. Days bleed into weeks. Kale names the creature Longcrest, a name spoken only in the silence of his mind. He becomes a master of deception, a tiny hunter whose prey is not meat, but opportunity. He learns the patterns of the clan sentries, the moments of distraction around the fire, the precise instant a haunch of cooked reptile is left unattended. Every morsel he pilfers is a gamble against a beating. He brings long-crest fish from a shallow creek, fat grubs dug from rotting logs, and once, a whole rock iguana he stunned with a well-aimed stone. In return, the great pterosaur offers him something the clan never has: attention. When Kale approaches, Longcrest emits a low, rumbling purr from deep within its chest.
Careful coordination.
Intelligent eye follows his every move not with the cold calculus of a predator, but with a palpable curiosity. Their communication evolves, a lexicon of sound and gesture born from mutual need. This is a language of pure mimicry. Kale, observing smaller pterosaurs, learns to make a high, whistling call to signal his approach. Longcrest answers with a series of sharp, percussive clicks from its keratin USB. A slow blink means peace. A tilt of the crested head toward the creek means thirst. Kale, in turn, develops gestures to convey the state of the world beyond their hidden clearing. He crouches low and scuttles, making a chittering sound, and Longcrest understands the proximity of scavengers. He holds his stomach and grimaces, and the creature seems to comprehend the clan's hunger. This fragile bond, this impossible dialogue, becomes the center of Kayla's existence. A secret world after that holds more meaning than the loud, desperate reality of his own kind. That reality is shrinking, choked by a new and intelligent terror, a pack of Utahraptors, sickle-clawed nightmares of feather and tooth, has claimed the valley's hunting grounds. They are not the brutish carnivores the clan is used to evading. These creatures learn, led by a scarred matriarch with one milky white eye. They anticipate the hominid's ambush points, herd prey away from their drives, and have even learned to recognize the clan's strongest hunters, targeting them with coordinated attacks. The clan's survival skills, honed over generations of hominid history, are proving fatally inadequate. Their ancient tools, tubs of gnarled wooden choppers of sharpened flint, are useless against phantoms that melt into the undergrowth. The hunters return day after day with nothing but fresh wounds and stories of being outthought. Hunger becomes a physical presence in the camp, a hollow-eyed ghost that gnaws at their bellies and their hope. The elders sit, their faces masks of granite. Their debate a series of low, urgent growls. To stay is to starve. To move is to risk everything on the unknown. Okay, the clan leader finally stands. He points a heavy arm toward the jagged peaks on the horizon. A migration. A desperate, near-suicidal journey across open plains and treacherous ravines. It is a plan born of utter despair. A gamble that will leave the old and the weak behind. Kale, hiding in the shadows, hears the verdict. His blood runs cold. He thinks of Longcrest, whose wing is now almost healed. The Potegayu and scarred but whole. To leave is to abandon his only friend. To stay is to die with them. The lie cannot hold. Okay, his brow a cliff of suspicion, sees the faint spark of life in Kayla's eyes where there should only be the dull apathy of the half-starved. He sees the boy slip away from the fire not with fear, but with purpose. He follows. The confrontation is silent and brutal. Okay parts the ferns and sees the impossible. The outcast child, sky demon, the secret communion. The clan leader's mind, a thing of Stone Age pragmatism, can only process it as a profound threat, a madness. He raises his heavy club, not for the Pteranodon, but for the boy who has betrayed the fundamental law of their existence. Fear what is greater than you. But Kale does not flint. He stands before the great reptile, a tiny, defiant shield of flesh and bone. In his eyes, Oke sees not insanity, but a fierce, protective loyalty that mirrors the clan's own. The leader lowers his arm, confused and angered. The judgment is passed without a word. Kale is to be exiled. But he will march with them first. He will be a body to distract the predators, and then he will be left to the wild. The migration begins under a sky the color of a fresh bruise. They are a line of grim, shuffling figures moving through the tall, rustling grass of the open plain. A slow-moving feast laid out for the valley's hunters. The air is still, heavy with a silence that is more terrifying than any roar. The attack comes not as a charge, but as a fluid, whispering death. The Utahraptors rise from the grass on all sides, a coordinated, silent surge. They are a reddish blur of feathers and slashing claws, their famous sickle talons flashing like honed obsidian. The clan's hunters from a desperate circle. Their crude weapons, a pathetic display of Australopithecus technology, swinging wildly. But the raptors are too fast, too smart. The matriarch with the white eye directs them with sharp, barking calls. It's an ambush, a perfect trap, and the circle is shrinking. A scream cuts through the chaos, a sound not of hominid terror, but of piercing, alien fury. A vast shadow sweeps over the battlefield, and Longcrest descends. Its wings, now fully healed, beat the air with thunderous claps. It does not attack the raptors. It circles high above, its head tilted, its golden eye taking in the entire scene. And it begins to cry out. The vocalization is a complex series of shrieks, clicks, and piercing whistles. The sky language Kale now knows as well as his own heartbeat. The raptors, momentarily confused by this aerial menace, falter. The rocks. It sees a ridge of rocks to the west. Kale screams, his voice raw with desperate hope. He points, translating the Pteranodon's frantic calls. It's our only chance. A high ground they cannot surround. For a heartbeat, the clan hesitates, caught between the flashing teeth below and the impossible command from the outcast boy. But they are okay. His face a mask of blunt grim acceptance. Sees the truth. Their way has failed. He bellows a single, guttural command. The clan breaks formation. A desperate, scrambling flight, not of retreat, but toward the position long crest circles like a divine marker. They claw their way up the rocky outcrop, turning to face their pursuers from a defensible height. The raptors, their perfect ambush broken, snarl in frustration at the base of the rocks and, after a tense standoff, melt back into the grass. The clan is broken, bleeding, but alive. In the ringing silence, they stare at Kale, who stands beside Longcrest as it lands gently near him. The outcast and the monster. The boy and his god. And they understand. The world has changed. The story of human evolution, of the survival of early humans, would not just be about the strength of their arms, but the reach of their empathy. This moment, in a forgotten valley millions of years ago, was more than a single clan's survival. It was a deviation, a profound fork in the long path of consciousness. It was the instant a hominid mind, cornered by a world of teeth and claws, looked to the sky not with fear, but for an answer. This alliance, born of a child's loneliness and a creature's pain, was the first whispered word in a new story, the story of partnership. The nascent idea that other intelligences existed in the world, and that communication, not just conflict, was a tool for survival. This bond between a small, clever primate and a winged reptile was a spark that would one day lead to the taming of wolves, the harnessing of horses, the profound and complex relationship between humanity and the animal world. It was the audacious, revolutionary belief that the key to mastering the world was not just to kill its inhabitants, but to understand them. How many of our greatest leaps forward began not with a weapon, but with a gesture of trust towards something we were supposed to fear. When the chronicles of bone and stone fall silent, listen to the wind, for it remembers the names of the gods who were once our friends. But the sky is not the only abyss that holds a memory.